Hey everyone, welcome back to Open. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche for the next hour, coming to you from BronxNet Studios, inviting you to get social with us online, that is. Tweet us and follow us on Instagram at BronxNet TV and like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And of course, while you're there, don't forget, follow moi on Twitter, FB, Instagram, Insta Stories, and LinkedIn at Rhina Valentin. Our first guest is part of an exciting new musical that's going to have its first off-Broadway run this upcoming winter. The musical Aloha Boricua follows the voices and weaves through the stories of 5 characters in search of home and opportunity during the U.S. military invasion of Puerto Rico. The show pays tribute to the myths and truths of the Hawaiian people who welcomed them at the end of their journey. Joining us to share more is Aloha Boricua director Jorge B. Merced. Hello and welcome.
Hello, Rina. Hello, everyone from Open. Such a pleasure to be here with you once again to tell you a little bit about this exciting show that's happening at the Puerto Rican Traveling Theater on 47th Street in Manhattan.
It's very, very exciting to see the work that you guys have been just producing that that also provide this certain level of education that is so needed within our community. So it's our pleasure to highlight all the work that you guys are doing over there at Pregones PRTT. And I know I introduced the show in having its first off-Broadway run. However, I also know that you mounted it, you premiered it in 2009. And I also didn't share that there's also the component of the hurricane that occurred in 1898 and 99. And this is all, I guess, inspired by the author Manuel Ramos Otero, right? So you can share like how this all came about from you, right? Because this kind of is all coming out of you.
Yeah, thank you, Rina. I mean, as most of you know, our home is still the Bronx, and we love our Bronx audiences, and we love to premiere our works in the Bronx. And this work was premiered back in 2009, Aloha Boricua, in the Bronx and Walton Avenue. And we did a beautiful run over there that audiences kept on calling back for it, so we had to extend it. And now this is part of a trilogy of historical plays that we've done at Pregones during that time and early 2000s. And when we look back and said, okay, what are the works that people are saying, bring it back, bring it back, bring it back? Aloha Boricua was like on the top of the list. It's the journey of the Puerto Ricans that migrated to Hawaii in 1900 and 1901. It is inspired and based on the short story written by great queer author and poet Manuel Ramos Otero, called Vivir del Cuento. And he talks about this particular group of Puerto Ricans that back in 1901, after Hurricane San Siriaco, which was very similar to what Maria did to Puerto Rico, it just tore the island apart right through the middle. So this was a Category 4, again, hurricane that really devastated the economy in Puerto Rico. So many people were left without homes, without places to work. The sugarcane mills were closed. So the Sugar Planters Association from Hawaii saw a great opportunity to bring workers, laborers to Hawaii with the promise that they would come back after the whole crop was over. So they will bring it back to Puerto Rico. So thousands of Puerto Ricans signed up and went to work, but they never returned. They were never brought back. So they established a Puerto Rican community in Hawaii. And this show is a tribute to them, a tribute to Manuel Ramos Otero and his poetry, and to the stories of migration and how is it that our communities continue to thrive and continue to find a place to say, this is who we are, even in Hawaii. The show is a musical. It has, you name it, from reggaeton to salsa to decima to seis to música Ibara. It's a lot of fun, but it's part of our history and a chapter in our history that is rarely told. So we are so happy that we get to share this great musical, which premiered in the Bronx, and now we are bringing it to our second venue, our Puerto Rican Traveling Theater in Manhattan, just for 3 weeks. So we're really happy that our audiences can get to see this show again with a brand new cast, Rina. We are really opening our arms to this amazing talent that we have, Latina talent in our community, and I am so excited with this cast and the work that they're doing. We have adapted it. You see there we have Kimberly Gomez playing one of the characters, Joel Acosta, Tristan Hernandez. We have Ana Cristina Malavé, Gilberto Gabriel, Luis Herrera, and Jasmine Carden. A young crop of amazing, really talented actors who are taking part in this production, and they're giving their heart, their all, and they're so
You know,
excited to
I
share this story with
understand.
you.
I mean, this is just out of nowhere, right? Just because you were talking about the migration to Hawaii, and I understand that there's cookies in Hawaii, and that
That
they've been
is
able to live over there. So, do you think they
that,
migrated with them?
no, they didn't, but that is so true. But as part of the research that we did for this show, we actually went to Hawaii and worked with some of the native Hawaiian peoples there. And in one of the trips, when we were there, we took a plane to the Big Island, and when we landed, we started hearing the coquis over there, and we just dropped to the floor, started crying right in the airport, like, what is this, what's going on, so there were coquis that migrated to Hawaii in the early 2000s. That's when they first started there, and they of course they call it the coqui frog over there, not coquis. And they didn't get the best treatment once they arrived, because people were like, what are these loud things? And we're like, hello, this is our soul, this is part of who we are as Puerto Ricans. So we had to explain to a lot of people, like, don't kill them, this is something that is part of heritage. But yeah, there are coquis over there, but they didn't travel with that first migration of Puerto Ricans. They traveled way, like, almost 100 years later. That's when they made their way down there. And but it was so beautiful to listen to the coquis there. We were also so fortunate to work with the artists from Pa'i Foundation, right there in Hawaii, who really expanded our understanding of Hawaiian culture. And we also met some of the Puerto Ricans that established organizations there in Hawaii. So this show is a tribute to all of them, and it's part of a history that I think, even if you're not Puerto Rican, if you understand migration and you want to learn about how is it that people establish a home somewhere else, and this is a perfect show to see it. It's a great holiday gift for your family, so they will love it. They're gonna love you. They're gonna say, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you didn't tell me about this story before." So I really hope that people get to share it and get to see this amazing, amazing
Me
musical.
too, and I'm so happy to bring it to our viewers. I mean, you and Rosalba, we did promote the Harlem Hellfighters on the Latin beat, and the theme that you are all going with, and making sure that there's Puerto Rican elements, and those stories are being produced and being told, and then of course you're doing it in such a musical fashion that it's, for me, a not to miss kind of occasion. It is a not
So
to be missed
so
occasion.
so true, so true. We get to tell our stories from our perspective. It's not waiting for someone else to tell us who are we and what do we do, where we've been. It's like we taking the reins and saying, this is part of our history. Our Puerto Rican brothers and sisters who established themselves in Hawaii, and who now, many of them consider themselves Hawaiians or of Puerto Rican descent, they're part of that history as well, and we celebrate them. We are so joyful that we get to extend our hearts and say, this is part of all of our history. And but at the same time, it's a lot of fun. The musical is really a lot of fun. You're gonna
It
love it.
sounds fun. I know I'm definitely going to love it. And I hope you guys love it. Once again, that's Jorge Merced, director of Aloha Boricua. And if you are interested, don't miss the in-person performances of Aloha Boricua at the Puerto Rican Traveling Theater, located at 304 West 47th Street, between 8th and 9th Avenues in Manhattan. Performances are running now through December 18th. Be sure to check it out. For more information, you can visit Pregones, PRTT.org, and on all social media platforms at Pregones PRTT. We have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll speak to executive producer and actor Candy Santana. She discusses mental health and the Latinx community through her short film, Metamorphosis. Don't go anywhere.